This is the Dallas Morning News.
It's Friday, November 28th. A mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 60, rain, and possibly a thunderstorm moving in this evening with a low of 52. Here are today's headlines. Grapevine-raised singer Post Malone electrified Arlington's AT&T Stadium yesterday at the Cowboys-Chiefs halftime show. The rapper turned country star emerged from a haze of smoke, launching into a medley of hits, including I Had Some Help and Wow. Malone was decked out in a blue and white snug varsity jersey jacket with several buttons affixed, including one with number 94, an apparent tribute to Cowboys' late defensive end Marshawn Kneeland. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, a fixture of past Thanksgiving halftime acts, joined him on the field. It was a homecoming for the pop star born Austin Post, who was reared in Cowboys land. In a recent Instagram post, he answered a call from Cowboys owner Jerry Jones saying, "Hey, Dad." Malone's real father, Rich Post, was a former Cowboys employee who oversaw concessions at AT&T Stadium. The Thursday run of show, including the stage being mounted, Malone's set, and teardown, lasted under 20 minutes. The Cowboys beat the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28 to improve to 6-5-1 on the season. In other news, on a two-lane road in a quiet pocket of Denton, a team of chefs crafts an intimate, hyper-personalized dining experience where each dish is guided by the preferences and specificities of the person it's made for. Their diners? The residents of the Sage Oak Boutique Senior Living Community. Unlike most senior living homes, this small one in North Texas is centered around food. The living spaces are designed like residential homes where the kitchen is the literal and metaphorical core, and the meals are anything but an afterthought. The Cordon Bleu trained chef Larry Atwater oversees a staff of culinary professionals at Sage Oak who do all of their cooking in the open kitchens at 4 assisted living and memory care homes on the property. The job entails preparing breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. But it's also ordering multiple brands of ice cream because Dale prefers vanilla and Cheryl only wants Bluebell. It's keeping wild-caught salmon on hand for Mary Ann, who doesn't eat beef, and remembering if it's green, don't give it to Erlene when plating vegetables. It's making over-easy eggs for Bob at 8 a.m. sharp and baking warm blueberry muffins for Margaret every morning. This personalized culinary strategy is uncommon in the senior living space, but as the demand for senior housing rises, boutique options such as this are likely to grow, especially in Texas, where the senior population is expected to increase by more than 24% in the next decade. The chefs at Sage Oak take great care to make the meals as thoughtful and enticing as possible. Dishes are plated with the finesse found at sit-down restaurants, and they're finished with herb oils and delicate garnishes. Charcuterie boards are set out between meals, and freshly baked pies line the counters where residents can sit and watch the chefs at work. Every part of the cooking and dining experience at Sage Oak is communal. It's meant to feel familiar and nostalgic, both for the residents and the chefs. And there's a lot more to this article, and you can read it at dallasnews.com. Next up, on a recent sunny afternoon at Mi Familia Park in Grand Prairie, a handful of volunteers crouched down to get a better look at the shoreline. Some squinted their eyes as they scanned the dirt, skimming it with their hands. Ian Siemens, a City Hall advocate with nonprofit group Environment Texas, picked a tiny object up between his fingers and gave it a squeeze. It was a nurdle. Siemens had been out to the park on Mountain Creek Lake a few times before in search of these nurdles, the lentil-sized plastic pellets, often smaller than 5 millimeters in size, are the raw material used to make plastic products like grocery bags and water bottles. He said it's virtually impossible to get them out of the environment anyway, besides by hand, in addition to spending time picking up larger litter and learning about the impacts of pollution. The volunteers collected nurdles that washed up from the lake as part of Environment Texas's statewide nurdle hunt. Though this type of plastic pollution has mostly made headlines for its impact in coastal communities, nurdles are also found in inland areas like Dallas-Fort Worth. And if Texas beats Texas A&M, do the Longhorns deserve a spot in the college football playoff? Texas coach Steve Sarkisian does not think it's appropriate to talk about whether his Longhorns deserve a spot in the college football playoff until after today's game against Texas A&M. He said, "The moment you start putting energy into things that are out of your control, then you miss what's right in front of you. If we're fortunate enough to win the game, I'll talk about that after the game because I think that would be a better platform." And honestly, there's no real point for the Longhorns or their coach to waste time talking hypotheticals that won't mean anything if they can't upset number 3 A&M and hand the Aggies their first loss of the season. But with Texas ranked number 16 in this week's CFP rankings, it's hard not to let your mind wander. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit dallasnews.com. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with more from the Dallas Morning News.